Most people believe they fail to build muscle because of their genetics, age, or a wrong program, but that's not true. They fail because they never developed the mental discipline required to build a great physique. And if this video makes you uncomfortable, that's exactly the point. For the ones who are new to my channel, I'm Dr. Nesh Jocic, former bodybuilding champion. I have spent in bodybuilding over 40 years, and during that time I competed 46 times and won 17 titles. I have also trained personally over 3,500 people and helped them to get in the best shape of their lives. I have also published 11 ebooks which are fully loaded with detailed information about everything you always wanted to know about bodybuilding, like muscle growth, training splits, training systems, training techniques, number of reps, number of sets, fat loss, nutrition, lifestyle change, and much, much more. So if you're interested to develop your knowledge and widen your horizons, simply click on the link in the comments and you can access my ebooks. Everybody talks about training splits, training techniques, volume, frequency, macros, supplements, but nobody talks about mental structure, which is required to apply for those things consistently and for years. Muscle is not simply built by information. It is built by behavior repeated under discomfort. So the best knowledge in this world won't make you build big muscles and burn body fat unless you are ready to continue, you're ready to repeat under the discomfort. I can tell you that the biggest lie in modern fitness is that motivation builds muscle, but this is absolutely not true. Motivation is emotional. Because of that, is not sustainable, is unstable. And muscle requires stability. So you may feel great one day, but it doesn't mean that you're going to feel great and motivated next day. So what is going to happen the next day? You're not going to go to the gym? And this is where motivation fails. So motivation is not necessarily the most important factor. If you only train when you're motivated, you have already lost, you have failed already. Because motivation disappears the moment training becomes repetitive, boring, or uncomfortable. How many times I've seen different people simply quitting because they said, "Oh, I'm not motivated. I can't go to the gym anymore. I don't know. Just this is not for me. It's boring. It's always the same thing. And also the food. I have to eat the same meals. I hear that every day. People that I do nutritional programs for, they come back and say, "Oh, but this breakfast, can I change somehow? I can't eat this every day." I said, I eat my breakfast every day. In the last 40 years, I always ate eggs and cottage cheese. And simply, if you don't like it, this is another thing. But this is what is required, because there is nothing better than that. If there was anything better than that, I would be the first one to eat. And I would be the first one to keep changing my meals all the time. But you see, consistency and repetition and drive that you want to change something are more important than simply motivation and simply that emotional sensation about your training, about your diet. And again, if you really rely on your motivation, you have already lost. And I can tell you that great physiques are built by people who show up when motivation is gone. I absolutely agree with the quote that great physiques are built by those who show up when motivation is gone. I have experienced that on my own skin. There were situations in my life when I could not possibly have any motivation because obstacles were so huge, but I have still managed to go and do my workouts. And I can tell you, I never missed my sessions. Never ever in my bodybuilding career or my training life, which is over 45 years now, I have missed a training session. I never took a week off or 2 weeks off. Never ever. Most people never cross that line from average to impressive because they keep negotiating with themselves. Again, I've heard so many times people saying, "Oh, I don't feel like today, but I come tomorrow." This is a very common excuse. That tomorrow will change again in another tomorrow and in another tomorrow. Because if you're waiting for that motivation, for this right emotion to come up, that may not happen for a week. And then what are you going to do? Also, people say often, and I had that experience with many around me, "Oh, I really decided to start, seriously, but I'm going to start from next week." I said, "Why don't you start from today?" no, I'll do it from next week. I'm going to start dieting from next week. If you decided to change something, you should do it yesterday. Now is your latest chance. Why are you waiting? So obviously there is no passion, there is no drive there, and that excuse is in so many cases is simply unacceptable. I will start next week. So now is Monday, and then you're going to start next Monday. So what are you going to do for a week? So this unacceptable. Also, people say, "Oh, I will change the program. This one doesn't work for me. I need to change the program." If you have the right program, there is nothing to change. I never changed my program in the last 30 years. Principles are the same. Training split is the same. Number of days per week are the same. Number of sets per muscle group is the same. Number of reps, I explained it in so many videos. So once you set that, there is nothing to change. You can't just jump from one island to another and thinking that change in training system or training program is gonna bring something great. No, this is just another excuse. And this is the thing that when you start negotiating and try to please yourself, this is not going to work, and you're definitely going to fail. Another big excuse, which is heard more often now than ever, is I really deserve a break. So this is when that famous deloading has been created. I never heard that when I was training and competing in the 80s and 90s and later. Nobody used that word deloading. People often ask me in the comments when I publish my videos, and you can see that, you can read it, and they say, "What do you think about taking 1 week after every 4 weeks, 1 week deloading?" I mean, what do you mean by deloading? What are you deloading? What happened in those 4 weeks? You overtrain yourself, you burn yourself to the ground. Why did you do that? If you do everything right, if your training program is right, if your diet is right, you will obviously be recovered and ready to go for your next training sessions, for your next training workout. That means that within a week, you're going to be very satisfied with your food, with your rest, with your recovery. There is no need to take 1 week off after 4 weeks. What are you going to gain from that? This is unacceptable. And these excuses will just weaken you. And if you start negotiating with yourself, basically you're just weakening your identity. So you need to understand that discipline is not punishment. Discipline is simply self-respect. If you don't have discipline, you're basically not respecting yourself. So let me tell you something about the 3 mental traits required to build muscle. Number 1 is delayed gratification. So you need to understand that when you start your training program, you set everything right. You have got your training program, you have your nutritional plan. You cannot expect things to change within days or within weeks. You need to be patient because muscles, they grow slowly. You are about to change your physiology. You're about to build new muscle tissue. This is extremely difficult and slow process. You're basically changing your old self, your old nature. And this is not going to happen in a week or in a month. You have to be ready. You have to be patient. Because muscles grow slowly, there is no praise, there is no feedback, there is no excitement on a daily basis. And simply, if you need quick rewards, bodybuilding is not the game for you. It will simply frustrate you. So you need to be patient. You can't expect these daily gratifications. The second trait is boredom tolerance. This is very common problem with many people. Because once they start training, when everything is set right, again, they're expecting results to happen immediately. Also, they see the program is the same. Often I give people training program, and they say, "Oh, when do we need to change this program?" There is no need to change the program because I have given you the best training program for yourself. This is why my programs are called personalized training programs, and also personalized nutritional programs. So when do you change your programs? Why would you change? After a few weeks, I'll be bored to do the same things. Well, if you're for variety, then go and do something else. Change different sports, do something every next week, play football or go swimming or dancing or something. Obviously, life will be much sweeter for you if you're that kind of person. But, you can't just look at a training program as the same program, same exercises, your diet plan, the same meals, the same structure. because this is how it is. You have to keep repeating those practices, your meals and your workouts, and slowly improve in your intensity, in your form. Try to find the ways to feel your muscles better, mind-muscle connection, improve that as well, and things will come. So you have to be ready to tolerate that, because people don't quit because it's hard. Most of the people quit because it's boring, right? So this is the second one. And I have to say to you, consistency is boring, and this is why it works. So consistency is not doing something perfectly. Consistency is doing it even when it seems that nothing is happening. So consistency is something that I'm going to be talking in the next video. So I'm just going to give you a few hints now about consistency. And you need to understand that most people are not inconsistent because they're lazy. They are inconsistent because they expect results too quickly. Consistency feels unrewarded at first, and this is why most people abandon it before it starts working. Muscles grow slowly, as I said, and you have to be consistent in that process. You need to allow them that time to develop, and there is nothing that is going to happen unless you are basically consistent. Remember one more thing: what you do occasionally doesn't matter, but what you repeatedly do simply defines your body. I will talk to you much more about consistency, which I believe is my strongest character trait. And thanks to that trait that I have managed to achieve quite a few things in my life. And every time I have achieved something, that is mainly because of consistency. I would never give up any project that I started. And you probably know very well as well that anything that you have done in your life and you have succeeded in any field, either that is a business, either that is art or relationship or bodybuilding, you had to be consistent. So consistency is the real diamond. But more about that in the next video. So let me tell you a few words about why modern fitness makes people weak. Now, you have all seen so many videos with all these new guys who have been in the games only a few years, some of them in a few months, and now they are successful, popular influencers on YouTube or elsewhere, social media, and they will tell you how things go and how you should train and how you should eat. But all they do in order to get as many followers as possible, they're trying to please their viewers. So in order to please you, they will have to give you something that is going to be easy for you to achieve. Basically, they keep you in the comfort zone. You see, the difference with me is I never tried to please anyone. Anybody who is watching my videos, even you now, I'm not trying to please you because I'm telling you the truth. And the truth is not something that may please you. It may be hard. It may take a long time. It may be very difficult. It will require discipline that you probably never had, or consistency that you may lack. It will require strengthening your character, strengthening your mental attitude. And there is nothing sweet and easy about it. And there is nothing that is going to comfort you when I tell you this. And if I am managing to say something that will make you uncomfortable listening to this, then we have succeeded. I have succeeded with this video. You're listening to me because you want to change. And I'm telling you that change is not going to come easy. Nothing worth in your life that you have achieved have came easily. And you know that very well. Nothing in my life came easy. Every time I have succeeded in something, it was the end of the very difficult road. Either that was a competition, either that was getting ready for photo shoot, getting my degree, getting my master's, getting my PhD. Everything was extremely difficult and hard. So unless you are prepared to follow those obstacles, to face them, to break them, to overcome them, things are not going to happen. And this is a very important thing to understand. So what modern fitness does, it tries to comfort you. But by comforting you, you are not changing month after month, year after year. And then most of the people who come to me for advice, for online coaching, for personalized training programs, personalized nutritional programs, 90% of them have already tried with somebody else. And that somebody else was trying to comfort them. And this is why they never change. So this is a big, big issue, which I personally don't like, but this is how the world works. As Steve Jobs said, if you want people to follow you, to love you, sell ice cream, don't sell books. So basically, I'm not going to be selling ice cream. I'm going to be comforting you, telling you lies just to make you happy so you keep following me. I'm going to tell you things how they are. The best example for that is modern advice when it comes to training splits. So they want you to train every muscle twice per week. I don't want to mention names, but you have probably seen them, many of them. Oh, train every muscle twice per week. What do? You do, let's say chest. You do Monday and Thursday. And what do? You do 10 sets for chest on Monday. And then you do again 10 sets of chest on Thursday. Yes, because this is nice. It sounds good. And you know why? Because it's easy. 10 sets, that's nothing. It's a joke. Kindergarten. But you like it because it's easy. And then you're going to go again. And they will explain to you with some supersonic, exotic scientific research. Apparently, they found somewhere in Japan or in Nigeria or wherever. But reality is different. No, you have to do 20, 30 sets once a week. But that's hard. Yes, but that works. Works because it's hard. And if you keep doing that, like so many people have done it, just read the comments after my videos and you will see that they're coming the thousands saying, oh, I've listened to your advice and I'm doing 20, 30 sets per muscle only once per week. I started changing within 2-3 weeks. I started looking completely different. Yes, because it works. And why is working? Because it's hard. So again, the big problem is following these pleasing training systems. Everybody who has ever done 20 or 30 reps squatting knows that 30 or 20 reps in one set of squats is 10 times harder than doing 6 reps with some super heavy weights in some sloppy form. If you reduce that weight and you do 20 reps in perfect form, and then come back to me and tell me what is harder. And that approach, which is harder, is actually the best. And this is why I advise people to do, for example, legs from 12 to 20 reps. They come back to me and say, you know what, I couldn't walk 10 days after that workout. But you will adapt and you will recover. And as long as you are following these systems, training systems, which are keeping you in a comfort zone, which are pleasing you, with 10 sets on Monday, 10 sets of Thursday, you are going nowhere because you are constantly in that comfort bubble. So this is the big problem in modern industry. They try to keep you happy. This is the way that you're going to come back. So remember this, avoiding discomfort guarantees mediocrity. And comfort builds weakness. Discomfort builds structure. So you choose now. You want comfortable workouts or you want real muscle building workouts. So choice is yours. I want to tell you something very important. After more than 40 years in training, myself and coaching thousands of people, I've never seen anyone build a great body without mental discipline first. Training methods can change, but principles never do. And the men who succeed, they're not special, they're just structured. So without that mental discipline, without that strength of character, nothing will happen. And I'm here to tell you that. I'm not here to lie to you. You need to be structured. You need to understand that comfort zone is not going to be muscles. The comfort is just going to make you weak and mediocre. You need to understand that for greater results, you will have to face discomfort, hard training sessions, and they will be hard because you will be using right form, you will be using the right number of reps and right number of sets. And this is why a lot of people swing towards these modern influencers, which are simply pleasing them and trying to give them something which they're capable of doing. Whatever you're capable of doing is keeping you in the comfort zone. If you don't change that, you will never get out and you will never change. Any progress means overcoming discomfort. So let me give you a few practical mental rules that will help you build great physique and help you sustain all the obstacles and difficulties that you will be facing on your road to success. So first of all, train even if you don't feel like this. If your training program suggests 4 training sessions per week, you have to do them. You cannot just skip them. And even if you don't feel like training today, you have to go and do your session. Even 70% training session is better than none. So you can't skip your training session. Also, follow the right training split, which will allow you to basically recover during that particular week. Therefore, all this nonsense of deloading weeks, deloading days or time will be absolutely unnecessary. Eat also based on structure, not on cravings. You can't decide about what food you should eat because you like some food or you don't like some other food. People often say, oh, but I don't like eggs, I don't like this, I don't like that. Well, you don't have to like it, but your physiology requires exactly that. So when I give you advice about proper diet, I'm not going to give you what you like, I'm going to give you what works. You need to decide, are you going to follow what works or what you are craving? Next one is judge your progress in months, not in days. Nothing changes in days. I ask my clients to do photos of themselves every month, the same place, the same light every month. And then after 6, 7, 8 months, they can see the progress. But not after some people are looking in the mirror all the time and posing and thinking, oh, I'm changing. No, you're not changing. You can't change in a few days. You need months. So chase your progress. Look after your progress in months, not in days. This is very important to understand. Another important advice is to stop changing your training programs. If you change your training programs all the time, nothing is going to happen. The most important thing is that you create the right training program for you. And once that has been done, there is no change needed. You don't change the team that wins, period. So beware of that. Another important advice is do not negotiate with yourself. Don't keep asking yourself, oh, how do you feel about this? Oh, I'm a little bit tired. Oh, I'm not in the mood. I had a hard day in the office. Well, it's not going to work. You have to go and you have to do your session, right? Again, if you have 4 or 5 training sessions, if that is your program created by someone and you came across that, you have to follow that program. And don't negotiate with yourself. Don't try to please yourself. Don't try to feel sorry about yourself because you had a hard day in the office, you were upset or anything like that. This is going to happen to everybody. Nobody lives in a perfect world. Nobody lives in the glass vessel, right? Isolated from stress from the world and other people and problems. So we are all exposed to that. But your training needs to be done, period. So let me tell you one very important thing that I want you to remember. And this is that most people didn't fail because they didn't know what to do. They failed because they didn't have mental discipline to do it long enough. And if this video irritated you, good. I think I have done a good job. And this is where growth starts. So let me remind you once again that I have published 11 ebooks which are fully loaded with detailed information about everything you always wanted to know about bodybuilding. So if you want to widen your horizons and develop your knowledge, simply click on the link in the comments and you can access my ebooks. And also I would like you to watch this video in which I introduce my other services like personalized training programs, personalized nutritional programs, telephone consultations, online coaching, and also personal training for people who live in London. And these are the ways that I can help you one-to-one personally achieve the best results ever, change your body, build muscles, and burn body fat. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, I would kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video, send me your comments, and I will see you in the next video.